Hello guys, it's the Eradicator, and in today's video we're going to talk about Age of Empires 4, which is going to have a free update on October 25th of this year, which is going to be the first anniversary of Age of Empires 4, with two free civilizations that we're going to talk about in this video, which are the Ottomans, or the Turks, and the Malians from West Africa. So let's have a look at all of the details. Alright, we will kick off here with the first of these civilizations, the Ottomans, which of course are the Turks. And so the Ottoman civilization benefits strongly from their military prowess. Remember, these are the guys who actually conquered the Byzantine Empire. I'm surprised the Byzantines are not here, but if the Ottomans are here, for sure the Byzantines will make their way into the game eventually, right? So, in Age of Empires 4, the civilization of the Ottomans spans the years from pre-Imperial Ottoman Empire, so that's in the 11th century, until the mid-16th century CE, so the 1500s, originating in Anatolia, which is kind of like the middle of Turkey. The Ottomans rose to become one of the longest lasting empires in history, with an effective, stable government supported by a famously well-trained, regimented military. Now, the Ottomans actually collapsed at the end of the First World War, guys, so in 1918. So indeed, a very long empire indeed, worthy of being in Age of Empires 4. So what is it like to play the Ottomans in Age of Empires 4? Well, here they say that they are deeply dependent in their military expertise, getting the upper hand in battle with production bonuses, and they also have the largest gunpowder siege available in the world, in the game actually. The opponents can appoint powerful viziers, which is their some of their unique unit, probably similar to the unit that the Chinese have, right? That just goes around the buildings. Each vizier is earned over time by increasing production, and strategic decisions must be made when choosing which technologies to unlock. Their unique military school system changes how military units are produced and even allows certain military units to be produced without cost. Now, that is wonderful. Basically, they're slaves, but that's because they had slavery, so it makes sense. This unique system allows the Ottomans to have a larger army than is typical amongst other civilizations because of no cost. I really wonder if that also includes a cost in population. This remains to be seen. Now, here we have a look at some of the unique units here for the Ottomans. We have the Great Bombard, which is, well, obviously definitely the most dominant siege weapon. Look at how massive it is, right? Making easy work of enemy walls, and keeps with nearly 1,000 pounds splash damage causing projectiles. So that is going to be extremely powerful. I suspect it's going to be very slow and probably very expensive to be making as well. However, here, while powerful, it is more likely than other siege units to be destroyed if not properly defended, inflicting a heavy economic loss, because for each unit destroyed, you're going to have to rebuild another one, obviously, right? Next is the Mehter. It's a unique horseback wardrobe that provides an aura buff to units around. I don't think they can fight, but if it can provide a buff, then obviously the army is going to be more effective. This buff can be attack speed, melee armor, or ranged armor, so you can actually choose one. Only one buff may be applied at a time. It's possible to switch between them after a short cooldown. Next, we have the Sipahi, which is a fearless light raider horseman who charges into battle with vigor. Their fortitude ability, when activated, causes increased attack strength for a short period of time at the cost of receiving increased damage from melee attacks. Now, I suspect that those will be obviously very easy to counter with spear weapons, but that's why they have other units. I will talk about it later. So first, these are the different landmarks from the Ottomans. So from Age 1, the Ottomans are able to construct a military school, which is obviously a unique structure for the civilization. So here they say that the military school produces unit for free, but at a much slower rate than normal. So that's great. At least you can focus on other things while you get your units for free. Maybe for a little rush, maybe for defense. Maybe you can put those on your walls, perhaps. I can totally see plenty of uses for that. You can select which type of barrack stables or archery unit you can produce at the military school. So that's not just barrack units, but also archery and stables. Wonderful. Next, at Age 2, we have another landmark here, which is here. We call that, so we have a couple of landmarks here. So one of them can help with food production, or the other one with gold production. The Ottomans can start producing the Sifai unit and the Meta unit, providing early military prowess to help the Ottomans power through later ages, especially if they have those drummers in early in the game at H2. This can help for an early rush, for example. H3. Now that's what I'm talking about, guys. At H3, the Ottomans can start producing siege weapons through the Topahen Armory landmark, or help expand their empire with strategic options from the Imperial Council system. The unique Janissary unit, which was the unique unit in Age of Empires 2 here, is also becoming available, probably from the landmark that you'll be creating there, and that is going to be the unit that will be perfect to counter units with spears that will be countering the unique unit with horses. And finally, here at H4, the Ottomans are still in full production of their to fuel their military forces with the landmark choices. And here, the player can have at their disposal, of course, the Great Bombard that we can see here. I suppose that this is where it's going to be retracted and it's going to have to be deployed, right? So next, we have another civilization as mentioned, and these are the Malians. Now, it's great to see a civilization from Africa, quite underrated in history. The Malians were indeed very powerful at that time. It's just that, you know, we in the West don't know them so much, because we didn't know Africa so much during the medieval times. So that's why we were not really aware of their civilization and how powerful and especially how rich they were. Here they say that the Malians focus on strong economic play, making gold and spending gold, and they also prefer strategic hit and run tactics with their unique infantry instead of prolonged military battles. So I can see them as being, for example, a sort of support civilization for other civilizations in team game. By the way, when this update is coming, I think it's in October 25th, we are finally going to have team ranked games, and that is when having a Malian in the team is going to be very helpful, especially if we have like a 3 versus 3 or a 4 versus 4, right? In Age of Empires 4, the civilization of the Malians spans the years from the pre-imperial Mali Empire, so that's in the 1000s, the 11th century, to the 16th century, the 1500s. Uniting from a collection of independent kingdoms, the Malian civilization concealed into one of the most influential West African empires in history, as well as the richest trading nations of all time. They had one of the, they were collecting gold every single time when people were trading in the area, and they had like one of the richest men in the world of history, which is why they emphasize on gold a lot. The civilization of the Malians leverages their influence and economic prowess to empower their civilization on the road to victory. They are able to construct pit mines on top of gold deposits to automatically generate a steady stream of gold over time. So it's basically like the OVO of the Mongols that can automatically generate stone. Well, these ones can automatically generate gold over time. I suppose that it is until, for example, the gold source is depleted, right? And then they can invest the gold back into their unique cattle food source. Through their military unit, the Malians scoot toward these, looking for gameplay that focuses on ambush and hit and run style combat, something that we don't really have in Age of Empires 4. But as a result, lengthy battles are not really something that is going to be suitable for the civilization, which is probably going to be great at rushes and early game, but in late game, it's going to struggle. And again, as I said, it's going to be more of a support role for larger games with 3 versus 3 or 4 versus 4. Here are some of the unique units for the Malians, which I think are really interesting here. Look at that here, the Musofadi warrior, which is a female warrior who excels at ambush and stealth tactics. Not very surprised. In many African civilizations or African cultures, women are very strong and very powerful. I'm not surprised to see them as warriors. Their lower health and armor are offset by their high speed and damage, supporting their hit and run ambush style of combat. They are going to be extremely deadly. I suppose next we have the javelin thrower here. The javelin thrower is a skilled skirmisher that replaces the crossbowman of the Malians. That's definitely going to be similar to the skirmisher in Age of Empires 2, if you remember that old unit. It is an excellent counter to ranged units, and they deal bonus damage and have additional range when compared to archers. How is that possible? that I don't think is very historically accurate. But anyway, the last one here is the Donso, which is an anti-cavalry hunter warrior, and which charges into battle with a spear and a shield. They are also equipped with a javelin, which enables ranged combat and is automatically thrown at the target when not in melee combat. So it's basically a hybrid of melee and range. I love that very much. Now, this is here. These are the landmarks. So in Age 1, the Malians see a boost to their economy and research thanks to open pit mines, the one that we see here. Using their early gold generation of their advantage, they're able to afford more tech earlier than other civilizations, which means that they're probably going to be taking faster as well. But as they take faster, their units are not really that powerful. The Donso, a powerful unit, can fend off early threats. The Malians might fade off as they explore the unknown. H2 here is where they expand their trade routes. That's what they were very famous for, which with a new toll outpost which generates additional gold for passing caravans. The Musafati War becomes available, giving the Malians a new avenue for early raiding on opponents while they expand the empire. So basically, I think that if you put those buildings on the trade route, the merchants will be just stopping there and be giving additional gold on the way, which is going to be a great way to generate extra revenue. H3. In H3, using their accelerated resources, this can start producing AMS via the Gold Barracks landmark. This is going to give timely reinforcements to expand the hit and run raidings and ambushes. Expanding technology are the Sofa Horsemen, Archer, and Donso, which means that they have more tools to put pressure on their opponents. For Archer here, they said that the unique upgrade are poisoned arrows, which is going to be giving additional damage over time. So let's say, for example, you may still kill your enemies even though the battle might be over or your enemy might have retreated. That is also very interesting. In H4 here, which is where they can create global buffs. So again, confirming the idea that these might be a support civilization here with their Griot Barat landmark, which gives players different options to increase their economy, and also is going to give additional firepower to add their siege attacks, and also is going to increase their military production to further hit their opponents from all directions. Here, the Musafadi Ghadar also joins the fray, giving Malian another deadly force for making use of stealth. Through their own unique ability, they are able to activate stealth for a short period, even outside of stealth forest. Now, that is a little bit OP. It's going to be interesting to see how that is going to be countered. And that is all for this little update here of the new civilizations coming up in Age of Empires 4. I'm a little disappointed. I was hoping to see, for example, the Byzantine Empire. I was really expecting to see what would happen to them. Maybe have an extra campaign, but at least, you know, we're desperately needed, or at least we desperately need to have new civilizations in the game. Right now, 8 is really not enough, so we're gonna go all the way to 10. Why not? We can already take that, but if they could come with additional update, why not paid content in the future? I'm all for that. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Tell me in the comment section down below, do you still play Age 4? Which civilization do you like the most? I play as the French, but sometimes I also enjoy playing as the Chinese. Let me know what you guys do in Age 4. Thank you so much for watching. It's been the Eradicator. I will see you guys later.